Good evening, Equus Nation. Good evening. So it is now 10:15 a.m. Saturday. I left my home today at about 9:45. I'm sorry, 10:45 a.m. is what time I left because my first appointment was at noon. So been at the house now for almost 12 hours on a Saturday. Long day, but a very determined day. I was determined for something to happen today. So I picked up one of my senior agent, which is Shirley, and we just went and grinded out today. I had an appointment. That one went good. Did a policy for a gentleman who his son is actually a good friend of mine. We grew up together, ran track together. So I've known his son since like 10th grade, actually. So that went well. In the mix of that conversation, the gentleman was telling me how I guess he lost his job and he has 401k with a particular company. So then we start talking about annuity. So that's coming up the pike. And this is boiled down to activity. Once you start to create activity, things will start to happen, and things like that. So we went from there to sit down with a new agent that just came into the company today. After we left there, and we went to a gentleman who, my very first year in this business, I've known this gentleman from when I used to work at Nissan. So it's been over 11 years I've known this gentleman, and I remember when I sat down with him and stuff like that. I knew I was brand new. This guy used to be a supervisor at Verizon, making multiple six figures, like this huge, massive home. So, when I first met him, I know he was like, dude, you just start doing this. I don't know how I feel about it, blah, blah, blah. He ain't say it, but the body language, I can tell, right? So, but every year, I will call him and keep in touch and blah, 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 blah. And it's so funny. Today, I say, you know what? Because he lives way out in Fort Washington, Maryland. So it's not like an easy ride to get to or like around the corner. It's like an hour and something drive just to get to his house or whatever. So I was like, went to his house today, dressed up, looking nice. He saw that I grew up and stuff like that over time, and great conversation today. So he said, you know what? I'll definitely make time for you sometime this week coming up. So I said that to say that it pays to stay. It pays to stay. Everybody that I met with today in reference to providing a service to all potential, client are people that I've known for over, I want to say at least 10 years. At least 10 years. So, if you are in this business and you're really looking at it as a career, some folks may buy right away. Some folks will not buy right away. Some folks are waiting to see if you just in this thing just to make a quick buck, or you're actually in this thing to actually help them, and actually be an agent. Here are the facts. 92% of agent will quit within the first 2 years. 92% don't make it past the first 2 years. So is that 8% that's remainder, that the one who end up thriving, who end up later on, you see them 10 years down the road, they're living a good life, they're driving the car they want to drive, they're traveling everywhere, living where they want to live. Agents that make it past the 20th year are the one who become the $500,000 earner, the $1 million income earner, living in in mini mansion, and just life is just great and awesome. So, and it's not just even this business, it's any business. Any business you commit to, you go through the trials and tribulation. You're gonna get hit on, you're gonna get spit on, you're gonna get doors slammed on, and you still get up and still keep fighting, keep punching. Life has to return the favor to you. Life has to give you what you want. But most people don't put in that time. They want a quick buck right away. They don't want to go through the hard times that it takes. but nothing good will come to you if you don't go through that hard time. So this is not going. I don't mean for this to be a long, video or anything like that, but just want to share a little bit. I was glad one of my agents was with me today, because I think her personal comment today was, man, you know what? I want to be that agent, who who people look up to and things like that. And I think that came about actually this morning when I first woke up. One of my clients, been my client for like 9 years now. She's actually my biggest annuity. I think I rolled over $300,000 from when she retired from her job. She called me and said, "Hey, my children's father passed away. I don't know if they told you, but could you call my kids and and share condolences with them and things like that." And so they treat me like family, to be honest with you. So these are things that make me happy, in this business, because I don't look at my clients as just clients. I look at most of my clients, I want to say 90% plus of my clients, as family. I communicate with them on the regular, and I find in this business most agents do not communicate at all. They come in and make that check. They never call them. They don't send birthday cards. They don't go knock on the door, and say, "Hey, I'm around the neighborhood." Sit with them and drink some lemonade or chat or whatever. Don't do none of that. They just come in there and make a check. The last guy that we saw today, he's been my client now for, I don't know, maybe 7 years also. Probably has one of the biggest cash value, in all, and with within all my clients that I have, been consistent, never missed a payment. He has a policy with me. His daughter has a policy with me. His mother has has a policy with me, and he was sharing with me today. He's actually a supervisor for the District of Columbia Police Department. And he's sharing me today about his retirement is coming up, and what suggestion do I have in reference to moving over his retirement and stuff like that voluntarily, right? So that's also coming down the pipe, and he's been with the police force since he was in his 20s. So this is a guy who's almost 60 now, So again, this is one of those deals where the longer you stay, the wealthier you will become. The longer you stay, the wealthier you will become. So I'm gonna go upstairs now and get ready for tomorrow. My son want to go to King's Dominion, so we're gonna go have Daddy and Sunday and have a good time. All right. I hope you guys had a productive day today. I hope the fire hasn't died down from convention. Just keep that fire burning. Just remember what you learned there, and just keep that, in the front of your mind. And every day go out and work. This thing will happen for you, but it will only happen for you if you work. You guys have a wonderful evening.